The world was filled with wickedness. Everywhere God looked, there was corruption, violence, and evil. People had turned away from righteousness, and the earth was no longer the peaceful place God had created. Hearts were hardened, and mankind had strayed far from God's ways. Seeing this great evil, God was grieved. His creation had become spoiled by the wickedness of humanity. So God made a decision. He would cleanse the earth of its corruption with a great flood, destroying everything that had been tainted by sin. However, among all the people on earth, one man stood out, Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. His heart was pure, and because of his faithfulness, God showed him favor. God spoke to Noah, saying, "I have seen how the earth is filled with violence because of mankind. I will destroy both them and the earth. But you, Noah, I have chosen to preserve life. I want you to build an ark, a massive boat that will protect you, your family, and a remnant of every living creature during the flood I am about to send. Build it out of cypress wood. Make the ark 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Construct a roof for it, leaving an opening 1 cubit below the roof all around. Place a door in the side of the ark and create lower, middle, and upper decks to hold all the living creatures I will send to you." God's instructions were detailed and precise, but Noah listened carefully, trusting in the Lord's plan. Despite the difficulty of the task, Noah set out to build the ark exactly as God had commanded. His neighbors and the people around him probably mocked and ridiculed him. After all, there was no sign of rain, and the idea of a flood seemed absurd. But Noah ignored the doubts and taunts. Day by day, plank by plank, he faithfully built the ark. As Noah worked, God prepared him for what was to come. He said, "Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its female, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its female. Also, take 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, so that their species can continue to live on the earth. For in 7 days I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made." When the time came, Noah had completed the ark. The massive structure stood tall, a sign of God's mercy and judgment. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives all gathered at the ark. The animals, as God had promised, began to arrive. From the wild creatures of the forests to the domesticated animals of the fields, pairs of every kind of animal, clean and unclean, came to Noah. There were lions, tigers, sheep, goats, doves, ravens, and every creature in between. Noah led them into the ark, each pair finding its place in the massive vessel. When all were inside, Noah, his family, and the animals, God himself shut the door of the ark. Then the rains began. For 40 days and 40 nights, the heavens opened, and torrents of water poured down. The waters also burst forth from the deep, covering the entire earth. Rivers swelled, seas rose, and the land was swallowed by the relentless flood. The once bustling cities, the fields, the mountains, all were submerged beneath the waters. But as the world outside was consumed by the flood, Noah and those in the ark were kept safe. The ark floated on the surface of the rising waters, lifted high above the earth, untouched by the chaos below. As the rains continued, the earth was transformed into a vast ocean. Every living creature outside the ark perished, from the smallest insects to the mightiest beasts, and all of mankind was gone. But God remembered Noah and the animals in the ark. After the 40 days of rain, God sent a wind to sweep over the waters, and gradually the waters began to recede. The ark rested on the mountains of Ararat, and day by day the flood waters lowered. After waiting for a time, Noah opened a window in the ark and released a dove to see if the water had dried from the surface of the ground. But the dove found nowhere to rest and returned to him, for the earth was still covered by water. Noah waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again. This time, when the dove returned, it had a freshly plucked olive leaf in its beak. Noah knew then that the waters had receded and new life was beginning to grow on the earth. Noah waited patiently for God's signal. Then God spoke to Noah and said, "Come out of the ark, you and your family, and bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that move along the ground, so they may multiply on the earth, be fruitful, and increase in number." So Noah, his family, and all the animals came out of the ark. The world had been cleansed, and now a fresh start awaited them. Noah built an altar to the Lord, offering sacrifices in thanksgiving for their survival and the new beginning. God was pleased with Noah's offering, and he made a promise. He said, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though every inclination of the human heart is evil from childhood. And never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." God then made a covenant with Noah and his descendants, a promise to all living creatures. He said, "I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the whole earth." As a sign of this everlasting covenant, God set a rainbow in the sky. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, God said, "I will remember my covenant between me and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life." Noah and his family stood in awe as they gazed at the bright, colorful rainbow in the sky, a symbol of hope, mercy, and God's unbreakable promise.